Yo, what's going on, everybody? To the 6 people in here. We actually had a chance and the time to go live with a press conference. This will be an off-camera situation. But hey, man, I'm here, G. Walker. You can hear me in the comment section. Hey, what's up? Pull up. Let's watch the press conference together. What I'm reading, seeing, Terrell Smith is he's out for the season. Terrell Smith, Tyson Bagent has signed a deal for 2 years, $10 million. Worth $16 million with incentives, man. So pull up to the show, man. We're gonna see what's going on. Yeah, this will be off camera. I'm waiting on CJ to come in here, if he come in here. So, yep.
All right, so starting off just from recap the game injury-wise, Smitty's the one, we alluded to with possibly having something serious, and it turns out that's going to be the case. He's going to be out for the season with his injury. So, like I said, we're all rallying around him here and supporting him as he's getting healthy. So, with that being said, moving forward here to Kansas City, we got a big practice here today. We're in pads. We got to get significantly better here over the next couple of days, and then we'll follow that up with the game. So that's where really we're looking for some great work here today. We'll travel tomorrow, and then on Friday we'll have everyone up and playing. So we'll get a couple good days of work here this week. With that, I'll go ahead and open up.
What's the plan for how long they're going to play? Less than they did?
To be determined still. We got to make it through today, and we'll make that determination. It sounds like KC is going to play their starters too, so should have some good competition there.
As you reviewed the tape, what did you like most about what you saw from Caleb and how he ran the offense on Sunday night?
Yeah, I thought the communication was very clean. I thought he heard the plays well from me, and then he communicated it well in the huddle, and we really didn't have many issues in terms of getting lined up with plenty of time. There's one time he flipped the protection, which was great to see. I thought he saw the field really well. I thought he played with some timing and anticipation. There's certainly some things that we can build upon there and keep getting better at. We kind of highlighted those going forward. And so, I thought it was a good start, encouraging for the whole group to kind of get out there, go through that pregame process, night before the game, day of the game, get out there and pregame. And then, you don't start with the best conditions. I'm talking about your first drives on the -8 to start the game, and yet they didn't bat an eye and just took it one play at a time. And so I thought the whole group did a nice job there.
And I have a question for you about the injury,
since you guys are playing the Chiefs.
Yeah.
As a guy who came up as a young offensive coach, what have you loved about studying him and watching his offense? What do you respect about the way Andy Reid runs an offense?
Yeah, I mean, what I love about him is he's done it for a long time. So you can go back to Philly, and early on in Philly, it was West Coast offense really at its core. And now when you look at the offense, it's evolved so much. And so
What's going on, Chad?
What all the good coaches
We off camera right now.
They continue to push the
What's going on,
Nat?
What's up, bro?
And find out what their guys do well. And I think he's really been the epitome of that. He's done a great job of whoever his quarterback is, he's going to find a way to have success on offense. And you can tell the players love playing for him. He's authentic. He's true to himself. And we have a number of guys in the building here that were at Kansas City at some point. And I just love picking their brains because he's like the GOAT right now in this league. He's the one that I'm at the owners' meetings, and you get a bunch of the head coaches together, and they kind of they part the Red Sea for him, and he walks on up because he's held in such high regard. And so I thought it was
Terrell Smith is out for the season,
for
yeah.
the first time.
Terrell Smith
This year, so.
Know him at all?
I've gotten I got to talk with him a little bit there at the owners' meetings, and
Terrell
he
Smith.
and his wife are both really welcoming to new coaches, particularly first-time coaches. And so I know his wife, I think, reached out to my wife before that event, and then we had a couple conversations while we were there. So that's about the extent of it.
Were you able to confirm the Tyson Bagent extension?
Done deal.
Obviously, in respecting that Caleb Williams is your starter, Tyson Bagent, of course, considers himself starting caliber level. Do you consider him, does he have that in him to be a starter?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. I mean, he's I've really been blown away by his
The
approach
cornerback.
from the spring to the start of camp to where we are now. He does a tremendous job knowing what to do, how to do it, and getting it done. So I don't think you can have enough.
Yeah, it was a good game. Wasn't no dip off.
We actually
on
have
the second
one of the
stringers and third
best
stringers.
rooms
So yeah,
in the
I agree.
NFL, certainly that I've been around in my career from top to bottom. I mean, we got 3-4 guys that can play in this league, and so I feel really strongly about where we're at right there.
Surprised about what you've seen from Tyson Bagent?
No, I'm not surprised. I mean, you come in a new situation, and of course, I'd seen a little crossover tape over the last few years of him being out on the field, but the people in the building already had such a high opinion of him that no, I wasn't surprised by anything that he's done so far.
Specifically with his approach, what blew you away, and what has left an impression on you about him?
Yeah, no, he and I are probably wired very similar. Just when he enters a room, he's usually all business, and so to get him to crack a smile sometimes is a challenge, which we like to do. We like to, as coaches, you try to find that right balance of having a little levity at times, but at the same time making sure what we need to get across gets across, and so we try to loosen him up. So because he's so serious about his job, he wants to do so well, and he wants the team to do well that he's always locked in. So I can appreciate that about him because I can relate.
Before last, we're talking about the difference in your games. Caleb was saying that you're calmer in practice, and Tyson said that you're more likely to get cussed out in practice. So, do you recognize that about yourself, and is that intentional? Or?
Well, yeah, we're trying to create a certain atmosphere during practice that is more challenging than what the games are. So, yeah, they feel the pressure in practice, and then on game day, they all know that we're all on the same team, and we're all pulling the same direction. So it's really by design.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of time left in training camp, but you're nearing the end. When thinking back to some of the objectives that you laid out when it was starting, are there a couple that you think you guys have done a really good job of covering to this point?
Yeah, you see growth in each and every one of them. I think I always start with the fundamentals and the technique of each position group. I think you see it. It needs to still continue to improve because it's not going to be a finished product here in September. We'll be playing our best ball December and January, and so we're still in that race to play with better pad level, to tackle better in space, have better eye discipline on defense. I mean, there's things like that show up each and every week that we continue to hone in on and talk about. But you see, I was joking with the coaching staff the other day about pulling up some of our RVAs from phase 2 or phase 3 in the springtime, and man, we didn't look like a team that's going to win many games this year. And yet now, just to see where we've come, we've made tremendous strides in that regard. So I'm encouraged with where we're at. Like you said, camp's not over yet, so there's still some time that we got to get a little bit better situational football. We had the end of the half situation there the other day, didn't capitalize on that. In fact, we put ourselves in a tougher spot by allowing the other team to have a field goal before halftime. So there's a number of things that we continue to get better at.
You had Caleb in the shotgun. I think 7 of the 14 snaps he was out there. We've talked a couple times about how this isn't going to be the Lions' offense. This is going to be the Bears' offense. Is there a balance between you want him under center to do the stuff that you do, but is there an area where he's strong in the shotgun in certain situations? How do you?
Yeah, I think he's most comfortable there. That's what he's been all college and a lot last year as well. So yeah, there's a balance. We're going to do what's best for the other players on the field as well, and what's best for that particular play to have success. So I think he looks just as natural under. Hell, we had a we had a 7-step drop from under center drop back the other day, which you don't see really many teams do anymore in this league, and he was just fine working through his progression. So I think we're going to have the ability to do whatever we want any week.
Ben, are you at all concerned with?
What's your perspective on Jonah Jackson when he leaves Detroit, he takes that big deal in LA, and then nothing goes right for him out there? You guys brought him in really quick after you got hired. What was your perspective on just the whole situation? What did you know about him, even as things were going wrong in LA?
Yeah, I can't speak too much on the LA situation. I just know who he is. I was in Detroit when he was drafted out of Ohio State. We had a great relationship, whether I was a tight end coach or the coordinator. He's a guy that I believe in, and we're very fortunate to have him here. I think we're going to get the best version of him this year. Thank you.
What was the ankle syndrome?
Let's see if that was the end of the show, man. Let's see if that was the end. Sometimes, they say thanks for watching, then somebody else pops up. We got Alan coming in here. There goes CJ right there. Shout out to everybody that's in here. It's 47 people in here. This is a on-camera episode right now. And we just chopping it up with Bear Nation, man. We like to do these things when they happen and go live with a press conference to get the instant reaction and, talk about the things that Ben Johnson has done. And, there go Alan right there. So that is the end of the live, the practice. So it wasn't a long press conference. Like I say, man, Ben Johnson, he gets up there and he just talks for like 8 minutes, man. That's one of the reasons why I don't like to do these anymore, because we don't know who's all going to be up there. But he did talk about some things, TJ and Allen, about how Caleb and how he's been getting better. Terrell Smith actually is out for the season. He talked about Tyson Bagent getting his contract extension. So he talked about a few things, man. And despite how any of us feel, me personally, Tyson Bagent, he got his deal, man. And like I was always one of the people saying that Tyson Bagent, if he can grow under Ben Johnson as his pay caller and as a coach and as his mentor, then I always felt that Ben, he could probably potentially he could stay here. You know what I mean, Alan?
Yeah. He deserved the money. He been putting in the work. It's not the football stuff with Tyson Bagent. He got some limitations with his arm strength, but as far as like his recognition of the game, he is very capable of being a good quality quarterback. But just the off the field stuff as far as last year's rumor, that was a shitstorm. If he could stay away from stuff like that, and I think his dad good hearted. I think he would have did nothing no other dad would have done for his son. Not saying he a bad guy, but that rumor could break things in the locker room. Stuff like that is what crumbles locker room. And it was already a crumbling locker room under Eberflus anyway. And then that right there just gained fire, and they just took over for a whole week. So it was just one thing after another under Eberflus. It was just like what they say, the inmates running the asylum last year. So, I think I would rather have Badger as a backup. And I know Ryan Poles gets a pat on the back because they found Bagent. So that's a good thing for them. Under the draft collapses that they've had, he's one of the bright spots.
Yeah, I just think that we just had to get the backup QB situation solidified, because if we don't get the backup position solidified, then we're starting this whole process over. Like, I'm a believer in Ben Johnson, CJ, that he can play call around his limitations. He's a very good mentor. So this makes sense. We're not starting from scratch. We're keeping the QB room where it should be with the guy that's been here the longest time who can play. You know what I mean, C?
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on the extension, CJ?
I mean, it was well deserved. Like Tyson Badger, they putting in the work. in practice and whatnot. He's been showing and been proving, that he can do it. And I think Ben Johnson being his coach is probably the best thing for him because I don't know if he would have got this deal anywhere else.
Yeah, I don't know if he would have got this deal anywhere else. I actually believe that perfect timing is everything, Alan. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just fall into a good situation because he could not be the only person that might be under scrutiny if the old regime was still here and under Eberflus. We could be looking about how Caleb's future was going to look, how Tyreek Stevenson's situation is going to look, but now you fall into a situation with a guy that's great at play calling, a guy that's great at making sure his quarterbacks are ready to play, very detail oriented and very decisive at everything he do, Alan. So he fell into a great situation. I don't think nothing's wrong with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a good situation. It makes sense, it goes to show that Ben Johnson, a lot of coaches that come in under a new GM, a lot of times the GM and the coach are aligned, and he came in under certain
right.
Then Ryan, right. Certain circumstances. So he's looking at the game as I like what you got, Brian. Like he didn't really get rid of a lot of Ryan's guys. Like he's kind of working with Ryan as far as like some of these guys are really capable of being good players. It's just they got to be coached. So that says a lot about Ben Johnson, that he's a team player as an executive, as a coach. Because some coaches, they be like, I ain't drafting, get his ass up out of here. So, right. I mean, it's really cutthroat whether he good. We ain't seen that all through history. The new guy come in there, he don't care what they ain't done. It's that my way or no way. So, but Ben is not like that. Ben is a guy, a cerebral, objective thinker. If that guy can listen to what I'm saying and move that offense the way that we're coaching it, then he can stay on the team. If not, he can move along.
Yeah, and I think that's you pretty much nailed it, man. Like some coaches, if I ain't draft you, but since he was being a quarterback, that's what I'm saying. He lumped up into a situation where the guy that's the head coach, I think he played quarterback too. I think Ben Johnson played quarterback. Then he mentored. Go ahead.
Yeah, he was a backup at North Carolina back in the day during the what's my tour bus, car tour bus. He came out like the early 2000s. I'll say about 2001, 2-ish. Right after Ronald Curry. So he's on up there, and so he was a backup quarterback in North Carolina. That's where I remember him from. Then he was up under Shoops. All Chicago Bear fans, y'all know who Shoops is. That offensive coordinator we had back in the day. Yeah, I mean, he's still under witness protection. So we just gotta, be careful. You know what I'm saying? But Ben is his own guy, but he came up under Gary. I think his name's Shoops, Gary Shoops or something. But yeah, that's Ben's got a good background.
Yeah, Ben got a good background. You come to a situation where it's brand new, man. You see what he did with Jared Goff. Even if you're not the starting quarterback, if you can work within this offense and people see you putting up good film, like he played a pretty good preseason game last game. He was cooking, man. Tyson Bagent was getting busy. Despite how I feel about him, he was playing really well. So he's putting up good tape. He got an extension. So the question is, CJ, do you think that he can be a starter anywhere else? Like he might be gone. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say no. I'm just gonna say no. I think he can be a backup anywhere else, of course. But starter right now, I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
I don't think he can. No, man. His expectations are his limitations. And what else did you see him being? So what else do you see him being? And he got paid a little bit of money, and he can still get traded. You think, Alan? Like he can still get traded?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And in basketball terms, he definitely be a tradable contract. And if his value is what the market is, see, that's the thing about giving contracts. you're basically setting the market during extensions. That's why a lot of GMs like to have a guy get to their 5th year or to get to their 3rd year and give them an extension. That way you can close the value. But in this case, we jumped ahead year and we went ahead and gave him the money because in 2 years, like C is saying, he might not be a starter, but the value of the backup quarterback might go from 5 to 6 million. It might go to 10. So you closing in that number, and that's good. That's good business to do because you already know that this is going to be a backup quarterback for.
Yeah, he be a backup quarterback. Yeah. Can y'all hear me out there, CJ? Y'all good? All right, we gonna move
Yeah, I
on.
hear you.
We got one more thing to talk about. We're gonna talk about Terrell Smith. Let me get this guy off the screen, man. Then we're gonna give y'all Twitter back. So hold on one second. Let me get rid of this, man. This was breaking news right here, everybody. This is an off-camera show right now. You know, we just want to pull up the press conference, but Ben Johnson pretty much, this guy got his deal. So we talked about Tyson Bagent for a little while. He got $10 million. It's worth $16 million with incentives. So that means he has to get those incentives to get the rest of that money. We talked about that, and then we're talking about that cornerback, man. A lot of people like him, CJ and Allen, man. Terrell Smith has suffered a torn patella tendon and will miss the 2025 season, man. This was a good death piece.
I knew it was bad.
Yeah. So it sucks, man. We need all the people we can for this secondary because we got a hurt secondary right now. We got Jalen Johnson, who hasn't been back to camp. We got a Kyler Gordon. We don't know what's going on with him. We got Zay Frazier, who they're keeping pretty much silent about. We don't know what's going on with him. And then we lose another cornerback. And this is supposed to be the best skill group on our team is our secondary. And these guys been dropping like flies. You know what I mean, Alan?
Yeah, but you know what, man? I'm gonna say this. I like what we got left. I love Terrell Smith more than I like Tariq Stevenson.
Right.
Because he's a traditional corner. Not saying Stevenson. I look at Stevenson as a safety. One day I believe a coach is gonna say, you know what? I believe you, Allen. He's a safety. He's a free safety or a strong safety in his body, his frame. But Terrell Smith is a corner. He is a traditional corner. He plays downhill. So that's what I like about him. It sucks that I watched it. We watched it when he broke on that play, and I'm like, he didn't get touched or anything. I was like, he had messed up either ACL or a tendon or something. I was like, he's gone. So,
he's gone.
Get well, big dog.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. Injuries happen. And this is somebody I wanted to see play this season, man. Just wanted to see that secondary pretty much become a no-fly zone attached with him in it. You know what I mean? Because he was definitely going to play this year. So now,
definitely.
Yeah, so now it's speeding up the training process for a guy maybe like a Zay Frazier. You know what I mean? And like, we got to get these guys healthy, man, before September 8th. You know what I mean, CJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's just unfortunate that he got.
I mean, but Zay Frazier did play the last game.
Did he?
On special teams. Yeah.
I missed that. I totally missed Zay Frazier out there, man, because I was asking, was he playing? So he played, huh?
He played. He was on special teams.
I missed that. Y'all might know. Neither one of y'all told me he was out there. Nobody said nothing to me. Twitter ain't say nothing. Nobody said nothing. And he must only got a couple of reps. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't see him.
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I don't see him either. Now, CJ, it's a lot of duplicate numbers, man. You know, we the Bears. We ain't retired everybody's damn numbers. So ain't no telling, man. You know, so it could be duplicates for all we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought the telecast mentioned his name. I thought I heard them say Frazier. So I said, "Oh, okay, he's playing."
Yeah. Yeah, but he hurt, man. Get well, big dog. You know, we wish you well, bro. You know, Allen likes you more than Tariq Stevenson. Allen pretty much said that they gonna end up moving him to to safety, man. Tariq Stevenson the best round being safety, man. That's crazy.
I'm telling man, that's an untapped potential, man. The kid got safety all over.
Right. So, yeah, man, get well, Terrell Smith. We didn't plan on being here that long. We're not gonna be in here that long, but if you're coming in here, man, thank you. If you retweet it, if you requote it, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, we appreciate every single person that's in here. I'm working on the pregame show. Just let everybody know it's gonna be fire like the last one. The last pregame show against the Bills is over 3,000 views, man. So I'm editing my butt off. I'm putting together a fire pregame show. Everybody's gonna love it. And it's gonna be fun, you know. So, you know, Bear Nation, pull up to the pregame show Friday night, 6 p.m. Central, 7 o'clock Eastern time, and we're gonna have another smoke fest. So y'all come through and help us with the flames of the smoke fest. But probably the biggest news today, before we get out of here, is Tyson Bagent signs a 2-year, $10 million extension worth $16 million. Me personally, on the personal side, I thought he sucked. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't good last year. He can barely throw the ball upfield. But if Ben Johnson is the play caller that I think he is, if Ben Johnson is the offensive coordinator that I think he is, if I believe in Declan Doyle and I believe in Ben Johnson, I believe all these people that's on this staff to develop Caleb Williams, I have to believe that they can have a playbook and a play call for Tyson Bagent. So despite how I feel about Tyson Bagent, I always felt that the backup QB's position needs to be solidified. I didn't think we needed to start over and get another quarterback right now. I think the more time they have together as a unit, Tyson Bagent can grow from that, whatever his skill set is. And Ben Johnson is a miracle worker. So that's my thoughts about the Tyson Bagent extension. You know, hopefully, you know, Caleb can play another 17 games and he don't get hurt. But I do believe if Caleb Williams goes down, I do believe that Tyson Bagent can step in under Ben Johnson in that playbook with the tight ends we have, with the running backs we have, and wide receivers. I think Tyson Bagent could come in there and play right away and get us a few games. You know what I mean, Alan? Do you feel the same way, Alan?
Oh, yeah, he could definitely run the offense. So then you got to think about it. We got a lot of talent around the quarterback. So that would give Tyson Bagent a lot of help. And then those intermediate throws is where Tyson is strong. So that would encourage the tight end game. Zacchaeus, Burton. He already got a connection with Burton. So, yeah, I think it will be seamless transition. The only difference would be the arm strength. Caleb can throw the top off a defense. Tyson can't.
Yeah, Tyson can't, and he's not as mobile as Caleb Williams. So everybody that's a fan of Tyson Bagent, he might look like he can run a little bit, but he ain't Caleb. No. He's not Caleb. He can't throw the ball deep like Caleb. He can't run around when the play breaks down like Caleb. So he's limited, but under the perfect circumstances with the offensive line that's like it got better, the wide receiver core that's gotten better, everything is better around these quarterbacks. So if I'm Ben Johnson, I'm thinking the same way, CJ, like everything around my quarterbacks is better. I could put Tyson in the game and he can get some things done. I can put Caleb in the game he can get some things done, and Austin Reed. So what we're seeing is, and Alan, we talked about this, there wasn't any dip off in the Bills preseason game when the third stringers came in there, and Ian Wheeler and Hankins and the running backs and Tyson Bagent. So if I'm Ben Johnson, I'm looking at my team, and I'm looking how they operating. This was a no-brainer to sign my backup quarterback. You know what I mean, CJ?
Yep.
So shout out to Tyson Bagent, man. He got a deal. We got 81 people in the live right now. We'll probably go a few minutes longer. As long as you guys are in here, man, we can talk about it, man. If you guys want to talk a little bit, I can bring up some more stuff. I can look up how practice went. We in here. Whatever y'all want to talk about, man. Let's just see how practice went real quick. If y'all got anything about Tyson Bagent while his picture's still up here, y'all can go ahead and bring it up while I look this up.
Yeah, I want Badger to continue to work on the plays and continue to work on his timing with his teammates. Just things like that. But in the season, Caleb's gonna get out of reps in practice. So, Bagent, he probably get maybe a set or two a game just to be, keep him warm. But most of the reps are gonna go to Caleb, so those will be kind of hard to do. But scout team quarterback, he'll be it as far as like working against the first team defense. So that will be good for his development. Like I said, whenever that time comes, if he's got to play for Caleb, I think he'll be ready.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I think he'll be ready, but hold on. Oh man, I can't bring that up. I honestly wanted to talk about this Chicago Bears situation where they could be trying to trade for Brian Robinson Jr.
Yeah, I hope that's a guy that'll fit very well, like a glove.
Yeah, hold on. And you know what? Let me bring up this article real quick while I got everybody in here. Hold on, I got us right. Hold on. Let's get to it. We want to give y'all a show. We just don't want to give y'all just 15 minutes because, like I say, sometimes they don't stay up there on that podium enough. So we're gonna talk about some news and some things that's been coming down the pipeline. You know what I'm saying? Projected Brian Robinson Jr. trade to Bears gives Commanders a big win. A trade scenario of the Chicago Bears highlights how the Washington Commanders could turn a surplus into real value. So, Alan, just what are your thoughts right now on what can Brian Robinson Jr. bring to this team?
Oh, he brings a durable running back and a guy that can run between the tackles. That's the running back we need. We need a guy that's gonna stress the linebackers and make them play in front of their pads. Like right. Swift is a guy that challenges the corner, the outside. But you get Brian Robinson and get them linebackers to sit at home, that's going to be a whole different look for the running game. So that type of kid is something we need, and Ryan should go get him. If he can get his hands on him, if they asking for a fourth off of a fifth, right. just to see kick the tires on it. That's a good, solid move going into the season.
Yeah, I think it is, and I'm gonna look up at some of his stats, man. Brian Robinson Jr. So, CJ, what's your thoughts on this particular scenario about the Bears? They might look into trading for him. What's your thoughts, man?
I mean, I agree with everything Alan said. He's 100% correct. Running back, they can get in between tackles, put some pressure on the defensive linebackers. Mm-hmm. I think he'll definitely be a great fit. The Bears will definitely need a guy that can get in between the tackles when it comes to the winter months of the season. So yeah, I mean, if Ryan Post can get him, get him. If they want a 4th round pick, offer him too. It couldn't hurt.
Yeah, it can't hurt. It can only help. And this is some of the stats we got a comment in here right now. Shout out to Honey for reposting the stream. Shout out to Honey, man. She's in the chat. Honey McMahon, she's a dope Bear fan, man. One of my favorite people to follow on X. She's always locked in with us, locked in with me. And I hope you're enjoying the show. We had to make up a show because your boy, Ben Johnson, his ass was only up there for 8 minutes. So we talked about so if you just came in here, the 90 people that's in here right now, we talked about, I don't know if this will pull up. Let me see. We talked about Terrell Smith. He's hurt right now. He's done for the season. Then we talked about Tyson Bagent getting his deal. So now we're going in about the things that's coming down at the pipeline, about the Chicago Bears probably potentially looking for trade for a running back from the Commanders, Brian Robinson Jr. So this is where the show is right now. So chime in, retweet, like it. You know what I'm saying? Hang out with us while we're here. So this is his stats right here. He's 6'1". He's 225 pounds, 26 years old. He's been in the league 3 years. His 2024 season, he had 800 yards, basically, 8 rushing touchdowns, and almost 4.5 yards per carry. So he getting to it. He almost getting 5 yards, man. He might be entering his prime, He's 26. Running backs around like 24-5. Allen, you know, that's look like when they start hitting that stride, correct?
Yeah, 26, 27. Yeah, that's a sweet spot for a running back. And then they start kind of going over the cliff at 32.
Yeah. So this guy right here, man, if they can get him, I might be all in on this. If they want a 4th round, in the 5th round, look, you got to give it up, man, because we know DeAndre Swift, okay, he's the home run hitter. Then you got all of our running backs are pretty much hurt. You know what I mean? We got Palmer guy was hurt. Roshan was hurt. You know, all the guys that's probably going to play the running back 2 or whatever, them guys are hurt. So if Ben Johnson has a sense of emergency or urgency right now, he need to be talking to Ryan Poles about getting him a running back ready for September 8th. You know, CJ? So that's just my thoughts. But let's keep going with some of the stats he got, man, on StatMuse for this young man. So his 2024 playoffs, he had 2 total touchdowns. About three and a half yards, 36 attempts. You know, no fumbles. So, Alan, this is a summary right here. Alan, it says Brian Robinson Jr. has played 3 seasons for the Commanders. He has 570 carries for 2,329 yards, 65 catches for 587 yards, and has scored 20 touchdowns. Alan, this dude is a stud, man.
Yeah, it's quality work, man. I mean, that's a quality. He is actually a starting running back, but it's just Washington runs that running back by committee. But we also gonna run a running back by committee. But I just envision him taking up that backup role to Swift and kind of putting Swift as a 3rd down back, where I think he will be lights out as a 3rd down back. Then you put Robinson in to get those nasty yards. Then you goal line with Roshan. And then that would kind of put Monunga as a special teamer, which that probably wouldn't hurt for a little while. But to get playoff ready, you got to get a Brian Robinson. I know what he going to give me. You know, he's a pro.
Right. Yeah, man, I agree, man. Like, I like the idea. And then I think it came down to, you know, that, let me see, that and we're going to talk about this too, man, since we got it. We got to talk about this situation with Trey Hendrickson at the Cincinnati, man. Like, nothing is moving. Yeah. So I read that the Packers offered 2 first-round draft picks, a 2nd and a 5th for Michael Parsons, and the Cowboys told him hell no and go to hell. So that makes me
that's
ask,
a lot.
That was a lot.
That was a lot.
That makes me ask, you know, what is the asking price for this guy right here, man? What is the asking price?
It's gonna have to be 2 second rounders or 1 first. They want a DB, I think, but it's gonna definitely be the 1st or 2 seconds and a DB, or they're looking for a young DB. If I were Ryan Poles, I'll be on the phone, man. Like, but I don't know. I might get in trouble for this, but I think Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham and the staff, they can find us cornerbacks. They have done a really good job finding corners. Like, if you feel like you got to give up an asset like a Tariq Stevens, or I wouldn't say Jalen, but if you have to give up a Tariq Stevens, I would go for a pass rush, because if you're getting home on a pass rush, hell, we got corners that can come in the game and play good corner. Like, I think the value can make up for it by the interceptions Tariq Stevenson might get will be tailored off by 15 sacks Henderson's gonna get. So, and the pressures and the forced fumbles. So I would definitely look at that offer, give him 2 seconds, and Stevenson, and go for it, even though we lost Smith. But I feel like you got a home run hitter at defensive end.
Man. And listen, we got some comments from Nonsense Naps and Communicate. He said the Commanders, Bears, and Dallas need to do a 3-way trade. I don't know if that can happen, man. They're gonna have to figure out something. But speaking on Trey Henderson, he's not gonna cost us nowhere near the price of what Micah Parsons is gonna cost us, CJ. He's not. So if I'm Ryan Poles, this is a situation right now that I'm definitely looking into. I'm definitely looking to Trey Henderson to the Bears right now, man, because 2 firsts, a second, and a 5th round pick for Micah Parsons, that's too much, man.
That's all right.
That's way too much.
That's a lot.
That's too much.
That is
you getting up to a farm.
Look, that's unreasonable. Like you're not even negotiating. You're not even negotiating reasonably. You're just saying you're not going to trade him. That's what you basically said. We're not trading him.
Right. That's right. That's what I said. So y'all don't want to trade him. Y'all, what they say, this is some unserious ass shit right now. You just so unserious right now with what you asking for this young man. That was a very unserious. And if that shit is true and the Packers offered that for that dude, that'll end up hurting them in the long run, man. I don't believe it. I don't care what nobody say. Like that's
that's decapitating. Look at what Khalil Mack did to our salary books. Like I love Khalil Mack, but he was a mammoth. He was a anchor on our salary cap. So, I mean, when you do that move, that's a Super Bowl move.
That's a Super Bowl.
We going all in. Yeah, we're going all in for 3 years, and after that, you're gonna try to either move them or try to recoup your value. But you can't hold on to a guy with that much that had that much leverage to get. You can't hold on to him too long.
Yeah, that's way too much, man. So, and the Packers are not a Micah Parsons away from a Super Bowl at all, in my opinion.
No,
they're not. Their quarterback is damn near injury prone. They don't even have really a number 1 wide receiver over there. They don't even have a number 1 cornerback over there. So the Green Bay Packers would be foolish to do this. It'll be foolish, but it'll end up helping the Bears in the long run because they destroy themselves with their draft capital for trying to get a Micah Parsons. But Trey Henderson, if Ryan Poles is really want to be aggressive, he need to go after this guy right here. We need to go after a running back. Our running back room is hurt right now. You found out the price for Michael Parsons. So you know he's not going to cost you nowhere near as much as draft capital Trey Henderson for that. So Ryan Poles, Ben Johnson, y'all got some work to do, man. Y'all really got some work to do. So y'all need to get to work and work this shit out because we still need a pass rush. The running back situation is not looking like it need to be looked for the running back 2. And Ben Johnson likes to run smash mouth football, CJ. This is a smash mouth running back. So this is probably really, really attractive to a coach like Ben Johnson who likes to run between the tackles and really play smash mouth football. So if I'm Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles, man, Brian Robinson is something I'm really intrigued by. It's something I would actually look into. So with that being said, we're gonna end this live right now. Shout out to the 116 people that came in. In case you missed it, we talked about Terrell Smith. Terrell Smith got hurt. He's done for the season. Tyson Bagent got paid 2-year, $10 million extension worth $16 million with incentives. But we're going to bring up one more thing right here. I want to talk about this. This is going to be our next segment. It's called the Pancake Report. Shout out to the 118 people in here this is going to be our pancake report. So, Alan, this is going to be pretty much the segment where you become the savant that you are, Alan, and you can pretty much tell from the title about what it's going to be about. So, can you please tell the people what the pancake report is going to be about, Alan? Hey, y'all got to unmute y'all mics.
It's going to be about the O-line and the blocking schemes and the work that they put in as far as from play to play. So we're going to show, Wright. We're going to show all the offensive linemen, Tooney, guys that's putting in the blocking assignments, putting people on their ass, throwing people out the club. We're gonna just be tapping into the pancake report. So you guys just be mindful and watch out for it throughout the year.
Throughout the year, exactly. We still came out with a date yet. Maybe on Friday night it's gonna be something where it's gonna be time for us to do this. But yeah, man, the pancake report coming to your Twitter page, your Facebook page, your YouTube. And I'm G Walker, the CNG podcast. That's CJ and that's Alan. We hope you guys enjoyed the stream. We will be live Friday with our pregame show, Bears versus Chiefs, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be a smoke fest, man. We will be on camera. Y'all get to see our handsome faces. We will be on camera. So pull up to the show, man. So shout out for Nonsense Nap for coming in here and speaking. Nonsense Nap. Then we had EB Warrior from YouTube saying congrats to Tyson Bagent. And then we had Honey McMahon that came in here and she reposted the stream. And we had NFL Outdated come in here and actually repost the stream. So shout out to Honey McMahon. Shout out to NFL Outdated. Shout out to Nonsense Nap. And shout out to Bears Nation. With that being said, we out of here. Peace.